The meltdown wasn't naughtiness. What I wish teachers knew about my child. By the time my child had a meltdown in your classroom, the meltdown may have been building for hours. You saw the moment he covered his ears, refused the task, cried, shouted, pushed something away, or tried to leave. Perhaps you saw a child being difficult, testing a boundary, or refusing to cooperate. I understand why it might have looked that way. You saw the moment the cup overflowed. I wish you could have seen everything that had already filled it. The day may have begun with very little sleep. His clothing or breakfast may have felt different. The journey to school may have been filled with horns, traffic, and an unexpected change of route. Each experience can take something from a limited reserve. Then he entered school. There was the bell, the crowded corridor, bright lighting, chairs scraping, children talking, and several instructions delivered before he had processed the first one. By the time you asked him to open his book and begin his work, he may already have spent most of his strength simply remaining in the room. What looked like refusal may have been inability in that moment. This is one of the most important things I wish teachers knew about my child. Hearing an instruction is not the same as being able to process it, organize a response, and act upon it immediately. Please give him time. If he does not look at you, that does not mean he is not listening. My child can hear and answer with his head turned away. Sometimes looking away is what makes listening possible. Requiring eye contact can add another demand when his brain is already trying to separate your words from every sound and movement around him. Please do not mistake a different way of listening for disrespect. When speech disappears, communication has not disappeared. A child may communicate distress through movement, withdrawal, crying, repetition, or escape. Behavior is often the final line of a story we have not yet read. Before deciding that my child is being naughty, please ask different questions. Is the room too loud? Has there been an unexpected change? Is the work unclear or overwhelming? Is he hungry, exhausted, unwell, or in pain? Has he been holding himself together all morning? Sometimes the distress began on the journey the night before or with an illness he cannot describe. Sometimes 10 small demands arrived without enough time between them. The visible behavior may be the last piece of information, not the first. When the meltdown comes, that is not the moment for a lecture. It is not the moment to demand eye contact, ask repeated questions, require an apology, surround him with adults, raise voices, or threaten consequences. During a meltdown, more words can become more noise, and more people can become more pressure. A public reprimand can turn overwhelm into shame. What helps is a calm adult with a calm voice. Use as few words as possible. You are safe. Come with me. The quiet room is ready. Give him time to respond. 10 seconds can feel like a long silence to an adult, but it may be the time his brain needs to find your words and work out what to do with them. Lower the noise and lights if possible. Move other pupils away rather than making him walk through a crowd. Offer ear defenders, a visual choice, or the safe space in his support plan. Do not touch him unless you know that touch helps him, and it is part of the agreed plan. Protect his safety, the safety of others, and his dignity. One trusted adult is often more helpful than a circle of concerned faces. Then allow recovery. A meltdown does not end simply because the crying has stopped. Sending him immediately back to the same task or noise may begin the cycle again. Regulation must come before education. A brain that is fighting to survive cannot be expected to learn. Later, when he is truly calm, we can try to understand what happened. But please do not begin with, "Why did you do that?" He may not know. Ask what was difficult. Offer pictures or simple choices if words are hard. Record what happened before the crisis, including changes, sensory demands, transitions, hunger, pain, and the support available. Patterns become visible when we record the whole story. And please speak with me. I do not claim to know everything, but I know my child in ways that no assessment form can capture. I know his anxious silence, which sounds hurt him, and how long he may need to recover from a difficult journey. When I share that knowledge, I am not challenging your profession. I am trying to place another piece of the child in your hands. Let us plan before the next crisis. Perhaps he needs a quieter entrance, time to settle after the journey, transition warnings, a visual timetable, movement breaks, reduced verbal instructions, a quiet place, or consistent one-to-one support. We can assess, plan, act, and review. We can notice what worked and change what did not. Support should not have to be earned through repeated distress. I'm not asking a school to ignore unsafe behavior. I'm not asking teachers to remove every boundary or permit a child to harm himself or somebody else. Safety matters, boundaries matter. But an overwhelmed nervous system needs a different response from deliberate rule breaking. Consequences cannot teach a child out of sensory pain, communication difficulty, or overload. The question is not only, how do we stop this behavior? The better question is, what is this behavior telling us? And what can we change so this child does not have to reach crisis in order to be understood? I know teachers are carrying large classes, limited resources, and needs they were never properly trained to meet. This is not an accusation. It is an invitation to see differently. My child was not giving you a difficult time. He was having a difficult time, and he needed an adult who could look beneath the behavior and find the need. The meltdown was not a moral failure. It was information. It told us that the environment, the demands, or the support had exceeded what he could manage in that moment. If we listen with curiosity instead of judgment, we can build a school day in which he feels safe enough to learn. Please do not remember my child only by his hardest moment. Remember how much work it may have taken for him to enter the building. Remember that his quiet may be communication, his turned head may be listening, and his need to leave may be an attempt to prevent complete overwhelm. See the child before you judge the behavior. Offer support before crisis proves that support was needed. And when the day has been difficult, send him home with his dignity still intact. For more honest reflections and practical support from the special needs journey, visit MothersFaith.xyz and speciallymadeshop.com. This is Mother's Journey. Share mercy daily.